just to put ourselves in other people's shoes and find out where it pinches and really understand the intricacies of their job has taken us to another interesting environment. And so today we're in Computer Village, where we're going to be learning the job of a mobile phone repairer. Today we're going to be learning everything that goes into ensuring that that mobile device you use works perfectly well. It's Try My Job with Ola, and you get to meet my guest in a bit.
Have you met the exceptional leader called Babajide Sanwo-Olu, a man with a passion to serve, protect, and stimulate economic growth? When a leader is cut from the same fabric as the people, a new kind of leadership representation is born. A leadership where the people are equally involved in decision-making and governance with a focus on 5 pillars of development, namely traffic management and transportation, health and environment, education and technology, making Lagos a 21st century economy, entertainment and tourism. All this will be achieved with adequate security. In this year, Babajide Sanwo-Olu is prepared and determined to take the great state of Lagos to greater heights with your support and cooperation. Vote APC. Vote Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
Okay, so our guests for today are Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Dr. Obafemi Hamzat. And I told you they're going to be trying the job of a mobile phone repairer. So what are you expecting today, sir?
How to know how to fix my phone. We paid so much for phone repair, so let me just get it done once and for all.
Yeah, so you want to do it yourself?
Side hustle.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
And so I get 10% of that business?
Absolutely. So.
Good. And so, sir, what are you expecting to learn today?
Just to know how it's fixed, how does the phone actually works.
Do you plan to have a side business?
Behind it, and then, well, you know that we've also trained a lot of people to do these skills.
Okay.
So it's good for us to actually know what we are sending people to do.
Oh, okay, fantastic. All right, so we're going to find out what they get to learn on the job, and I hope that they don't spoil somebody's phone. It's still Try My Job with Ola. The show continues in a bit.
The mobile phone system was introduced into the Nigerian market precisely on 6th of August 2001. The arrival of GSM in the country brought a progressive end to the highly criticized services of the Nigerian Telecommunications Limited, popularly known as NITEL. Arguably, Econet Wireless is said to be the first network provider that made the first live call using GSM in the country on June 8, 2001. It was shortly followed by MTN, who began operations in August 2001. Only 3 companies were initially licensed by the Nigerian government, namely Econet Wireless, MTN, and MTEL. Lagos first enjoyed GSM services, followed by Abuja, then Port Harcourt, and now it's everywhere. As expected, to own a cell phone then became a status symbol or an indication of one's exposure and compliance with the 21st century IT craze. It came at a price so high that the poor had no hope of such luxury. As at 2002, to buy a SIM was worth about 40 to 50,000 naira, while Nokia 3310 and Samsung series, the trendy brands of that time, were upwards of 80 to over 100,000 naira. They thus automatically became exclusive convenience and liability of the super rich, as some middle-class families could only afford one for the entire household. The GSM brought about new ideas for business and job opportunities. Many call centers sprung up in every corner during that time.
Alright, it's still Try My Job with Ola, and it's time for them to meet their teacher. So this is Mr. Olabamiji Muritala. You're welcome on the show.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So you have Mr. Sanwo-Olu and Dr. Hamzat.
Thank you.
Welcome.
He's come to learn your job.
Yes.
Teach them the way you would teach your apprentice.
Okay.
Don't be nice. We're going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 at the end of today's show.
Okay.
So ensure that you teach them properly, because you know that the performance of the students is dependent on the teacher, Abi.
Yes.
So if you teach them well, they'll get high scores. So please teach them well. All right.
Welcome to my class.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is our store.
Thank you.
Welcome. Let's begin training.
Okay. So I'm going to leave them to learn the job. It's still Try My Job with Ola. The show continues shortly.
They bring this phone that is not charging.
It's not charging.
It's not charging. And
Okay.
the customer have taken it to 1 or 2, 3 places before, it's still not charging. So they bring it to our service center now. So we're going to fix it. Before, we need to diagnose it before we can see the problem. So the first thing we are going to do is to unscrew the tools.
Let me try it.
Okay?
Am I unscrewing it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's coming out.
It's coming out.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it's okay like that.
It's okay
Let me
like
do
that.
something for you.
Okay.
So if you want to pick it out, you do like this.
Magnet.
So that is it. So if you want to do this, for those one that are just beginner, we have a tools we use to remove the screen. But I can't use that for you, because if I use that for you, you will cut off the flex of the screen. So I'll use my nails to remove the screen out.
Is that why you kept his nails?
Sometimes it's useful for our work.
So me, I don't have nails. So I have to grow the nails.
There is tools for that.
Okay.
So you don't need to keep your nails.
Okay.
But because of a new training, we just need to tell you 1 or 2 things about it.
Okay. Wow.
So this is the board.
That's what a mobile phone looks like inside.
Yeah, this is how the mobile phone
Is
looks like.
this is a battery?
No, this is the battery.
Oh, this is the battery. Yeah,
This is the battery. This is the charging port.
Okay.
This is the vibrator, and this is the board itself.
Okay.
So we need to detach everything first,
Okay.
and we'll now diagnose it with another part, so we can know where the fault is coming from.
Okay. So you need to have the right equipment.
Yes,
tools.
we have many tools. We have T-Star, we have Tensu, we have many like that. We have flat, and we have picker.
Okay.
So now, why this charging port is not working, we need to use another charging port of a phone to test.
Okay.
So we now confirm if it is charging port or the board itself.
So many tiny.
Very tiny tools. So it require somebody that look very well, not to go and punch board.
So what if you don't have good eyesight?
That's why there is many machine for it, which
Okay.
you can use to see clearly. That we have diagonalized TV. If you are not
Okay.
seeing clearly, you just pull the camera close to the board, and the TV will be showing everything. This is the screen part inside. This is the screen part.
Wow.
So I have this. This is microscope in case the eyes is not seeing very well. You put it down
Okay.
to check it. Moment you put light on it,
You
it
can
will very
see. You magnify it.
exactly.
Because I was wondering that. Okay. Some people don't. They don't have.
But
good
because our own
eyesight.
eyes is still very sharp.
Okay.
That's why
okay.
I'm using it.
Okay, Murtala, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Eh?
So we've removed the screen out of it, and we want to confirm why the thing is still not charging now. This is the charging port. Sometimes, if the phone fell down, this clip of the charging port can fall up.
Okay.
That the thing will not charge.
Sweet.
So the first thing we need to do, we should reclip it again
Okay.
and pull
okay.
the screen
And check.
and check. Maybe it's just because it fell. That's
Okay.
why it's doing that. So now clip it back.
Okay. Script.
Just clip. And this is the screen again. Don't pull battery when you are clipping everything. Because when you clip battery with it and you are putting the screen, it can breach and the phone will totally
Go off.
So now we've clipped it. You now need to close the phone before we pull battery to confirm if the phone is now working.
Interesting. Okay.
You need to put charger. Let's see if you have the lock. Wow. It came up.
Hey. Okay, so the lesson is that maybe the thing just it lost contact there.
Exactly.
That was
the
what
phone lost
happened.
contact from there.
Okay, from the charging
and
point.
They will have give to either engineer, they will not see where the contact is. So that's just it.
What gets inside the water, what gets damaged that makes it irrecoverable?
The first thing that damages there is the moment the phone got to this board and water got to the board, there are 2-3 ICs there. There is LAN on the IC, there is TriStar on the IC. That TriStar, it helps the phone to boot.
Okay.
The moment water touch it, it will breathe.
Go down.
It will not boot up. Okay. So by then it can be showing logo, the product logo at the screen.
Okay.
If it is Apple, to be showing Apple. If it is Samsung, it will be showing Samsung. It will be starting itself. Different brands comes like that. And some, if the RAM is damaged totally, you see the board getting hot.
My daughter, the last time my phone fell, we put it in front of fan, and we did like this. I put it in front of fan so that it can get. So we're wasting our time.
Normally, it is not so right to do that. But what really, sometimes before we become a very good engineer, most people, they say if their phone fall in the water or anywhere, they will go and soak it in the rice.
Yes, I've heard that.
And it's work for them most time.
Wow.
But the thing there is that rice will give the phone heat, and the phone will come with muco. And any day they try to change anything else on that phone, if the phone eventually come up, that's the end of the phone.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm learning for the first time that you can put your phone inside rice, and so you're going.
But it's not advisable.
You're going to
explain. The moment the phone fell in the water, just take it to any engineer to serve it for you.
All right, so I'm going to be asking you a few questions shortly, where you would explain to me the technology between rice and a mobile phone, because I really need to know. But then again, I can say that you've learned a lot, and so I'm going to be asking you what you've learned in a bit. Let's still try my job with Olah. The show continues shortly. All right, to still try my job with Olah, and this is the part where we get to learn more about our guests and what they have learned on the job today. So, sir, let's start with you. What did you learn today?
I learned the critical things you need to know about how to handle a phone, right? You need to be very patient. You need to have good eyesight. If you don't have one, there are some binoculars that could help. And I've never seen as many tiny screws as I've seen here today. Very tiny little things, and how delicate all those parts are. So beyond all of that, I've learned how to check if your phone is not charging. What are the things you need to look out for when you open up the screen, right? I've also learned, how to remove screen if you have a damaged or a cracked screen. And finally, I've also learned how to what are the things you need to do if your phone falls inside water. That the strategy is for them to quickly be able to do data recovery for you, because the phone, they will not guarantee that it would still remain as functional as it was, into perpetuity. So it might still crash, but what it will do for you very quickly is first to recover your data and all of it. So,
yeah, that's good. You seem to have learned a lot. Dr. Hamsat, how about you?
Well, I think it's clear that we have a lot of talent in the village, in the computer village in Ikeja.
Yes, sir. Great
guys that seem to understand, because they were able to tell us when that water touches the phone, what gets damaged. They talk about the RAM, they talk about, it's very interesting that they have those details. And also the usefulness of the battery. And when you're trying to repair anything, make sure you shut down the battery so that it doesn't short circuit the whole thing. So, plus what Mr. Sanwo-Olu just said, I think it's good knowledge in this place, good knowledge.
All right, teacher.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you score them?
Really impressed, because the first time I see that, I think they're able to take up to like 5, but they really go so far. So I give them 10.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Bravo. So, Mr. Sanwo-Olu, I noticed that lots of free Wi-Fi spots in Lagos. Yeah, and one of the questions I've been getting lately is how are you going to be able to sustain it when you happen to get into office?
Well, thank you. And first, also thank my teacher, who was gracious enough to let us crowd into the space. I want to say that we've received tremendous pushback, positive ones, and tremendous feedback coming from the free Wi-Fi stuff we talked about, right? It's in almost all the high stations in Lagos right now. It's actually in a lot of the malls, right? And in terms of sustainability, what we need to do is first to identify and to know, what are the costs, what are the costs to us? Which of those costs can we defer? Which of those costs can we spread out? And which of those costs we need to absorb at first? And how are people responding to the usage? So all of those things will happen, right, after people have used it for a while, right? To be honest with you, it's a lot of goodwill that we're currently enjoying. It's a lot of goodwill. People want to support our campaign, and those are the areas in which they can, and we're collaborating with them to say, okay, let's throw back. But more importantly, it's also because of part of our cardinal team point. And we've said that we'll be going to be very heavy on technology. Yes. So we just don't want to mount it, we want to begin to action it. Let people have a feel of it, let them use it, and let us get feedback afterwards. So that's one of the things we're trying to do, right now. And I think we even have it, in the computer village, right now. I'm not so sure how strong theirs is, but I'm sure we can wrap it up. But given the number of people, that needs to use it here in the computer village, it's enormous. It's really, really enormous.
Okay. So I'd like to ask Dr. Hamzat, what impact do you think it will have directly on our economy?
Access to broadband improves the economy, because first of all, you get information. Okay. You are able to access data, and you are able to do your job better. So basically, what our government will commit to is to expand the broadband. We are lucky that we have the 3 lines that landed in Lagos. So it's just the last mile. And like Mr. Sanwo-Olu has said severally, what we do with the telco is to also work with them. A lot of people have been saying, they are charging them for linear meter. That's not correct. What has happened is, in areas where you're cutting the road, if you are cutting the road, in some area there is trust boring. So we say, okay, if you are cutting the road, you must fix the road back. However, if you are not cutting the road, just use the docks. That's what Lagos State is committed to, and that's what we continue. And of course, for us, one of the things we do is to train more engineers that can be like this, my friend here, that can do a lot of job, and we are lucky. He will be one of our trainers, guaranteed.
Fantastic! Yay.
Yeah, because we were committing that we will also work with the association, because they are well put together, and see how we can train, new engineers,
What are the challenges you face doing your business here in Computer Village?
Since you came in, I can really see that you'll be hearing the sound of generators in Computer Village. The electricity is first of our problem, because someone that is on phone, maybe they are repairing a system or the phone or any other devices like printer, others like that, and you are about to test that maybe it's work, you just see the lights cut off. So we need to run our business on the generator throughout. So if Mr. Sanwo-Olu can help us on this electricity issue in Computer Village per se, I think the improvement will be so much more for our engineer to know so much more job on it. And our internet, we need it to so much work more than how it's working. Because sometimes we may be using it, it goes off. But if they can increase the Wi-Fi length that will be working, because most time you'll be working, you won't get the job again. You need to go online to go and pay for one consultancy. So you won't get internet to do that. So that's among the thing we need right now to improve our job here.
I think our job is cut out.
Okay.
Femi and I have been talking about it. Femi, he's an IT expert. So we're talking about it, and our job is pretty much cut out for us. We need at a minimum to be able to do what we call a power audit for them to determine what exactly is their requirement. And once we're able to do that, we should be able to do some bit of a captive energy for them because they're so important. And they've said it, their life wire is power. They need to have it 24/7.
What would you advise the average Nigerian youth?
My first advice to all the youth in Nigeria: this engineering work and on anything you want to do, I think if you just go online, you see the engineering work is going very fine now. So as we have the help of our new governor coming in, you can come and support our Sanwo-Olu to come in. So
that you get free Wi-Fi, free training, and more power to do what you need to do. On the average, how much you earn? The reason being that the young person out there that wants to get involved in something illicit or illegal would look at this as an option as against going into crime or going into cyber crime and all of that. So on the average, how much do you earn? Because I know you're a big boy. No. Your president told me you guys are billionaires. Quote unquote, billionaires. So tell me. So on the average,
business is paying.
For a starter, what can a starter earn?
And at least 5,000 in a day.
Oh, daily.
5,000.
So that's 5 times 30. That's 150 in a month.
That's 150,000
In a month.
Oh, geez.
For a starter.
Yeah.
And do you need to be a university graduate?
No, you don't need to go. Just know normal thing.
Okay, so if you have your school certificate, you can actually come to Computer Village
and have the training.
Oh,
but
fantastic.
you must be willing to learn. You must
learn.
have a mind to be submissive. That's the critical thing. And you must be able to dedicate your sincere time to learn the job. Once you do that,
Exactly.
become your own, yeah.
Fantastic. So back to you, Dr. Hamzat. What is your advice to the average Nigerian youth?
Well, I think the right to complain is dwindling.
Okay.
It's going down. So we should stop complaining and start taking control of our lives. So our youths, there are various options. We just learn here what is going on. People are making good money, doing the right thing. Nobody harasses you. You are living your life. You submit your life to God. You're living a righteous life and you make a living. So I think the options for complaining, I think, is like going down. I think we should do the right thing. Go and learn something.
Okay, fantastic. So, Mr. Sanwo-Olu, I noticed that the rate of cyber crimes in Nigeria is increasing. What do you intend to do to curb that?
Well, I'm not an expert, so it's essentially to look at what are the things that are leading to this, right? And so every organization, right, that has access out there must also come up with protective mechanisms. There are lots of softwares, in which you also can use to ensure that your backroom transactions are secure, right? And also to ensure that if you suspect any wrongdoing anywhere, right, you must have the right to raise an alarm, right? Let's be our brother's keeper, right? You cannot say because internet is free or you have access to it. If you're not doing the right thing on it, and if you do something, I think you should be able to escalate it. And if you are a corporate and you have, your data that is not secure, the advice would be that essentially, come up with solutions that you can keep, to secure your data, and it's for everybody. It's for everybody. Because anything can happen from anywhere. It's not only in Nigeria. People can be anywhere in the world, and so it's something that everybody needs to be aware of, right? And let's also get a lot of new professionals understanding issues around cybercrime and cyber issues, so that we can stop it.
So thank you very much for coming on the show. Do you have any advice for the Nigerian youth? One line.
Well, like Dr. Hamzat said, let's really just stop complaining. Let's go with our passion. Whatever your passion is, develop it. Whatever it is that you've set for yourself to do, just go do it. For opportunity, a whole lot. One of the things we need to do is, can we replicate this computer village in another part of the city? Maybe in Padagri, maybe in Efe, or something, and so that we so that we have another computer village there, and it becomes a go-to place for young and upcoming people.
All right. Thank you so much for making our time for the show. Thank you so much, sir, for making our time. Our teacher, thank you so much for allowing us in video space. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I would always say there is dignity in labor, and whatever your hand finds to do, do it well. It's been trying my job with Ola. Bye for now.